Greg Powers, Dave Campbell's Texas football, and I'm happy to be joined by Gibson Pyle, who's fresh off of his commitment to Nebraska. Gibson, congratulations first and foremost.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was a big day. It was April 1st that you pulled the trigger. I was a little bit nervous at first when you pulled it because I thought, oh, could it be an April Fool's Day joke? You know, you always have to be really wary of that day, but it wasn't. And hey, man, I have to admit, I loved your video. I made a cameo appearance on it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on there. What was it about the Cornhuskers that really made you feel comfortable enough to go ahead and pull the trigger? I know that you had thought about waiting, you know, closer to the season, but you've taken a couple visits up there and you must have felt that the timing was right.
Yeah. So, you know, I took my first visit the first weekend of March. It was just me and my dad. And so, you know, when we went up there, you know, I really didn't have any expectations. So I kind of went in there not knowing what to expect, and it blew me away. And so, you know, after that visit, I kind of had an idea, like I had a feeling like, you know, this is where I could end up. And then, so, you know, I took some more visits, and then I wanted my mom and my stepdad to see it. So, you know, we went, you know, last weekend and got to see it with my mom and my stepdad. So that was really big for me. And, you know, that just kind of sealed the deal, is to see, you know, both my parents see me there. And, you know, they both told me like how happy I looked. And I think that was big for me. It was just being able to have both my family see it. And, you know, once those boxes were checked for me, I was ready to pull the trigger.
What was it about Nebraska that makes it so special to you?
Really the staff. And like, I'm a big guy. All the visits I've taken, I have to see the place. So when I went, it just felt like home. You know, the entire staff there, they welcome me. You know, it feels like a family there. You know, Coach Rule, I really believe he's going to do great things in Nebraska. You know, he's done great things at other programs, so I don't see why he won't do it at Nebraska. And, you know, I really believe in that whole staff, and Coach Raiola, you know, I think he'll coach me up real well.
Kind of peel back the curtain, you know, a lot of us who are from the outside looking in get a read about what's going on in Nebraska, but you actually kind of got to go up there and see the changes that they're implementing underneath of Coach Rule, and, you know, their plan of attack, basically, you know, because there hasn't been a product on the field. But I know that as a guy that gets to go on the visits and sit down with the staff, you can kind of get a clearer picture of what they're going to be bringing to the table. Should Cornhusker fans be really excited?
They should be very excited. I think Coach Rule is great. You know, after seeing their spring practice, it really opened my eyes that, you know, it was a winning practice. You know, it felt like a professional practice. You know, it was very physical at the same time. You know, felt like football. You know, full pads, hitting, and smash mouth, which is just what I love.
I think because they're the Cornhuskers, there are going to be some kids from Texas who are considering Nebraska like, oh, well, it's all cornfields. But I know I've been there myself. That's not the case. Kind of tell us what it's like up there, and are the facilities tremendous?
Yeah, I mean, even the town, you know, like a lot of places, you know, you might not expect it, but, you know, Lincoln's a great place. It's a great college town. I love the entire town, and the facilities are insane. You know, they're building their new facilities. They'll be done by, you know, this coming season, and it's the best facilities out of all the places I've been by a mile. You know, they're monstrous, but at the same time, it's the nicest I've ever seen.
I think, you know, I've gotten to cover some games up there, and one of the feelings that I took away from being at Nebraska is it's a different kind of football town. They're very passionate, but the fans seem to be very loyal and very gracious. You know, that's something that I've noticed there. Do you get a sense of what like the football community is like in Lincoln while you're there? Do they know who you were and that kind of stuff? I know they're very tapped in on social media, especially.
Yeah, no, they're huge on Twitter and everything. And, you know, even on my flight there, you know, my last visit, I'm sitting in, like I got on my seat and situated, and the guy's walking down the aisle, and he says, are you going to be there for the recruiting weekend? And I was like, yeah, Gibson, right? And I was like, wow. So I got recognized on my flight. So I think that pretty much just shows, you know, how passionate those fans are.
What was their pitch to you? How do they see you fitting into their schemes? I know that you've played a lot of offensive tackle at Klein Cain, but you're powerful enough to move to the interior if need be. Did they just give you like the wait and see approach, or did they have like a clear cut mission statement for you, how they see you fitting in there?
You know, I think we're going to wait and see. But at the end of the day, you know, Coach Raiola recruited me, you know, based off my athleticism and And, he said I'm mean. And, that's what he wants in his O lineman. And I think he sees me inside, but he's going to put the best 5 linemen on the field. And that's kind of his pitch to me. So
now that you're a committed recruit, do you see yourself like taking an active role in recruiting other players to come join you at Nebraska, or do you feel like you're just going to take the wait and see approach with having some of these guys, come onto the commitment list?
No, I definitely want to recruit other guys. I want to build this class up. I think we have the potential to build, a top 5 class. I really do. With Nebraska, I mean, what's not to like about it? So now I'll definitely be reaching out, to other linemen, any position, honestly, mostly in Texas because, that's where I can reach, and just really trying to get them, to commit and come to Nebraska.
I think that there's one guy that you probably don't have to tell a whole lot of Nebraska information to, and that's the number 1 recruit in the country, Dylan Raiola. He's Coach Raiola's son. But I'm sure that if there's a chance that he were to join you in Lincoln, that he would be pleased that they got a big dude to possibly protect his blind side a little bit on the roster. But I'm Texas focused. They have a commitment from Roger Gradney, a co-commitment from Texas on the list right now. I think that you guys are the 2 commitments on the list. And then there's a guy, closer to home that seems to have really enjoyed his trips up there, and that's Ian Flint. Have you ever had a chance to interact with him and talk to him about what it might be like if you 2 were to play side by side up there?
Yeah. So I've talked to Ian. I've met Ian, throughout the recruiting process in Texas and everything. So, I told him yesterday, I was like, where it is. So, I want to get to, I think, his dad went to Nebraska as well. So, I really think we could get Ian too. So I really do want to build this class.
You are actively recruiting. You're already telling some of the guys that this is where it's at. Give us a parting shot, like maybe what's something at Nebraska that people would take or would be unexpected to a Texas high school football player, or give us like a snapshot of what your first moments were stepping onto that campus, what stood out to you, besides the facilities, what were some of the things that really grabbed your attention about Lincoln?
It just felt like when you think of college football, that's what Nebraska is about, 300 something consecutive sellouts, insane fans, that's just what it's about. And it's huge, and everything about it is just, there's nothing not to like.
That was Gibson Pyle, one of the top-rated offensive linemen in the entire state of Texas. He's going to be playing his college football for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Gibson, thanks for the time. Congratulations, on your commitment. And, of course, good luck with your 2023 senior season at Klein Cain.
Yes, sir. Thank you.